So this video is for those who support Christian organizations that help the homeless. I prefer to be unhoused to homeless. Bring some dignity to those of us who can't cooperate with a system that demands more than one who is focused on the inner kingdom can give. So I was at the church. I was referred to. I was sent there, told that they're really good with helping people who need the help, and to go ahead, let myself in. The door's unlocked, and I can charge my phone, use the restrooms, and all that. I charged my phone. I fell asleep. It was the first good sleep I had on something soft in a month. I was woken up during a thunderstorm. It was 7 o'clock. It was time to close up the church. The man asked, "Where are you going to sleep tonight?" I said, "I don't know." I had been sleeping behind the Walmart on the grass. But it was thundering and windy and pouring. He said, "Well, you can stay under the overhang outside until the rain passes." And the other day I woke up after it had been raining, and I could see my breath. I could see steam coming off my clothes. I realized that my blanket hadn't been dry since that thunderstorm, since that night. And so therefore, I had not slept in a dry place for probably at least 2 weeks now. And when I was there at the church, charging my phone, making phone calls, trying to get myself assistance, before I was gifted with the motel room, I told the man, I said, I just realized this morning that my blanket, I have not slept with a dry blanket since that night. And he was like, "Oh, really? That's awful. I hope they find something for you." And then after the end of the conversation, "I hope you have a good day." And that morning, before I went to the church, I didn't know whether I should share this parable or keep it to myself, because it's God who teaches. But I figured lately that I'm supposed to let my voice be heard. And when I get these understandings, to share them in some way. Obviously, I'm not going to tell the guy or the church and, go there and condemn them. If they were to see it, then they would see it if they were supposed to. But to those who support churches like this, the illustration that came to me was Matthew 25:16 through 23. The servant who had received 5,000 coins went at once and invested his money and earned another 5,000. In the same way, the servant that received 2,000 coins earned 2,000 more. But the servant who had received 1,000 coins went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. It was given me to understand that servant who dug the hole, why he was declared bad and put in prison, was exactly the same reason why this church, and it's, I think he calls, I'm trying to remember, not a custodian, but I don't remember what he called himself. But anyways, he and the people who permit him to carry out this policy, who vote for it, yeah, it's a good idea. You shouldn't let somebody sleep overnight when it's pouring rain out there. You don't want to make exceptions. Or even if it was just his decision. That's the servant with the 1,000 coins that dug a hole and buried it. Because even when I was a Christian, I didn't understand that parable. Like, he's preserved the master's 1,000 coins. That's a good thing, right? Now I understand that proverb. Now I understand what a poor servant is. And that's the one who saved the 1,000 coins. A nice warm church with soft couches, kitchen, restrooms, everything a body needs. And there's no excuse. It can't be like, oh, well, that's not what churches are for. Because there is a pastor in Maine. He started with a man that he became acquainted with in his prison ministry, was getting out of prison, and he had no place to stay. And so the pastor kind of snuck and let him stay in the church overnight. And when the man was discovered, the pastor stood his ground. He said, no, this is what we should be doing with our 1,000 coins. And he did. He turned it into a homeless shelter first for men, and then he started including women and children. And they still met in the church every Sunday. So now I understand what that parable means. And if somebody else can appreciate this understanding and know that when they donate to these churches and these Christian organizations, they're just servants digging holes, burying coins, and declaring themselves righteous.